Consider a box. 4 identical sides and corners. A gap lies within the box's borders, and the space beyond its lines stretches out across an endless void of infinite emptiness. But what if we consider the box something else? Something more? What if we consider a box a person? Each individual is filled to their max with trillions of fragments of their identity that fit together into the perfect imperfections of a human puzzle. And beyond the individual is an endless void of potential that they have or have yet to unleash and explore. In The Fault in Our Stars, John Green writes, "There are infinite numbers between 0 and 1. There's 0.1 and 0.12 and 0.112 and an infinite collection of others. Of course, there is a bigger infinite set of numbers between 0 and 2, or between 0 and a million. Some infinities are bigger than other infinities." So what if we consider a box, a person, who's part of a greater whole? What if more boxes are added to the equation? There are 37.2 trillion cells in the human body. Within that, there are a seemingly infinite amount of atoms in each cell, and even more between 2 cells, and 3 and 4. Each individual in the world is like a cell, in a 7.53 billion celled organism. Together, we form one being. Cells throughout this organism are constantly dying or being born, each cell important, but each cell also being limited. These cells have a job, but these cells make mistakes. These cells can mutate, duplicate, or deteriorate. These cells are powerful, but are equally vulnerable. I say this to bring up the idea that each cell is only one minuscule fraction of an organism. Each individual is only one minuscule fraction of a population, and the world we live in today is only one minuscule fraction of eternity. So we, the boxes, the people, come together to create a greater whole in order to catch the falling and comfort the fallen. Because if one person makes a mistake, there are still 7,529,999,999 ways to make up for it. So consider a box. Consider the people. Consider the space we take up. Consider the safety net we have created to encourage the innovation of the next fragment of eternity. And if you feel the opposite, if you feel you are small and incapable of making a difference, look around the world at the endless representations of your immense contribution to the world around you. You see circles in California's state capitol, in the dome that hovers above legislation and the fight for equal rights. They stand in the structural integrity of the bright landmark, each curve carefully carved from porcelain hands. You see them in delicate flowers filling the world with vibrant colors, and in the petals that fall as they wither with time. Circles fill our trees with fruit. They light up our streets so it's safe to walk at night. Ornaments pass from one delicate hand to the next, click against each other on pine trees as they fill cold winter days with the warm glow of happiness. Circles filter gallons of water from mountains to faucets. They capture time on walls and wrists, keeping everyone in the moment. You can find squares and tiles on the ground, the click of heels against the concrete, the reassurance that you are not alone. They open up rooms by inviting in the sun. They keep the cold out while the beauty of the storm comes in. They protect those who don't want to be seen while still letting them experience the wonders of the world through a 1-inch shield. Squares remind you that you have time and can slow down, and alert you when it's time to speed up. They warn you. They protect you. They connect you to the world around you, to events occurring in foreign places, and people you haven't seen in years. You see rectangles in the lights that signal safety for some, while simultaneously representing danger for others. They create pathways to new destinations, and they tower over streets, creating shadows and building skylines. Rectangles advertise new technology or inspirational messages to cars zooming by. They fill rooms with the hypnotizing echo of classical music. They reverberate against the delicate fingers of the pianist. Stars decorate our homes. They signify Christmas and accomplishments. They fill our skies with endless possibilities. Now consider a box, made up of thousands of other boxes, each an individual coming together to make a greater whole. We see these boxes come together in art, in the three-dimensional swirls of metal on walls or the amalgamation of colors on murals and alleyways. We see them in nature, in the photosynthesized fractals in leaves filling trees. We see them in the early morning dew resting on leaves. We see them in water, in the 602 octillion water molecules in the ocean. We see them in processes, in photosynthesis, in the hydrologic cycle. But what if we lose this box? If there's nothing to confine us, and everything that we are and everything that we could be fuse into one entity? If we are able to freely fly with the birds, touch the clouds, and reach for the stars, would we truly and finally feel limitless? But all of this, all these questions and realizations, could never be possible unless we first consider a box.